Yeah. Um, I'm not I'm not even sure if I'm gonna actually publish this. I might, but this is really for me to just get it get get it out. Um, I've noticed some troubling trends inside the sales community recently. And they seem a bit they seem a bit dangerous. Um, there's a sort of so let me backtrack. There is a whole bunch of positivity and collaboration happening, which I find amazing. Um, but there is a growing, from what I'm seeing um, on my feeds and the discussions that I'm observing, there's a growing cynicism or negativity and dangerous practices that are creeping into our profession. For example, I've noticed there's a trend of condescending attitudes in like towards the prospects that who don't purchase a service or solution from salespeople. So I see people getting online and talking about it, and some salespeople, a growing trend, are even suggesting that these prospects are, for some reason, letting their families down by not purchasing their solution. And in my opinion, this kind of thinking is not only unethical, but it's also damaging to our profession because we've, I think it's a little bit entitled if we believe that through a 30 or 45-minute or even a hour long conversation, that we understand the entire totality of this person's life without having proper context. Maybe it's because I'll be 40 in 11 months. But I just don't feel like that's a true depiction of somebody's entire life. Um, Majority of us aren't therapists. Majority of us, to my knowledge, aren't psychiatrists. So the majority of us, in my opinion, we are not qualified to dictate to somebody else that they are a failure to their family because they don't want to allocate their funds to purchase our solution. um, Psychiatrists and therapists and doctors go to school for years to be able to diagnose patients in multiple sessions with an appropriate diagnosis. So for me, I feel it is a bit arrogant of us to think that we can do it without that training and we can do it in a fraction of the time. I've also noticed a sense of divisiveness. Like there's a lot of negativity towards competing sales methodologies, which is, in my opinion, creating a lot of unnecessary tension amongst our community. This sales trainer or cohort on this side is using this sales methodology, which is getting their clients results. So kudos to them. However, you'll have, from what I've seen, different pockets of other sales trainers say that's the wrong way to do it, even though that's getting the client's results. And then the competing sales trainers are also giving their clients results. So rather than us like high five for the client getting results, it's this tribal, territorial back and forth through passive aggression, which I just feel like doesn't need to happen. Um, this past week, or a couple of weeks ago, something beautiful happened. You had some of like the trainers in this space that are well respected, um, Matt Ryder, JD Daly, Sean Ray, Dean Kanzora, Taylor Welch. They all put on a sales con, the inaugural one down in Miami, and from like I would have went too, but I had family obligations. But from the feedback from the folks that I saw that went, they had amazing time and they got amazing value. And these are people who have um, different methodologies, but yet they came together. And I think that is a testament to what's possible. Um, what I've also noticed that is probably the most alarming thing is inexperienced experts. And what I mean by inexperienced experts is there's a trend of very young, inexperienced salespeople offering to manage or consult established businesses. Now, the young factor isn't the red flag because you have people that are prodigies. It's the inexperience factor that's alarming to me because we're seeing teenagers like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and 22-year-olds and whatnot telling business owners that they can come in and run their operations despite having no real world experience doing it. Now, why is this harmful and alarming and dangerous? It's alarming and dangerous because one, these trends they run the risk of damaging relationships with potential clients. Two, they reinforce the negative image that a lot of people have when it comes to salespeople. Three, it increases the stress and burnout risk amongst the sales professionals inside this industry. And then four, it really limits our ability to learn and grow from each other. But most importantly, and this goes back to the inexperienced, um, we're we're putting businesses at a risk when inexperienced individuals claim expertise that they don't have. Now, that last point is particularly dangerous because when someone puts their livelihood in your hands based on false premises, it's not just unethical, it's potentially devastating and fatal for the business owner and their employees. We cannot fake it until we make it here. Um, that is that is just to me unacceptable. And what I'd recommend, like a better approach is let's focus on one, respecting our prospects. These are people. These are not simply dollar signs. These are people that, for whatever reason, may or may not need like our help. And I'm saying may or may not because that's imperative. Not every person you speak to needs to be a sale. We do not need to force a round circle into a square peg. That's literally what that's a snake oil salesman selling people things they don't need or even want, but we can, because we have the skills to manipulate them, um, we do so, which is not in their best interest. It's only in our economic interest, short term. So, what I recommend is let's focus on respecting our prospects and let's do a better job of truly understanding their needs and their challenges by doing a proper discovery conversation. Like, let's also focus on being not only tolerant, but accepting of different sales techniques and not demonizing them if they don't come from us. Like, I personally am not an authoritative seller. However, I know a lot of authoritative sellers that do amazing, and I think no less of them. Um, what I saw at SalesCon, just being a sideline observer, was amazing. Like, it was it was the sales community supporting and uplifting each other, and I just think that that is so valuable. All right, and let's also be honest about our experience and our capabilities. Uh, and what I mean by that, like, let's recommend services we're only truly qualified to provide. Um, I'll give you an example for myself. Many of you that do know me, many of you probably don't, but many of you that do know me know that for years I was sales trainer with like uh, Seventh. And now my background, I did a lot of selling over the years. However, the one of the things that I did not do in my sales career is cold call. Now, Jeremy Miner is one of the best cold callers that I know. And then the second best that I personally know was Joe Warner. So when people would come to my coaching calls and ask anything about cold calling, I would be very transparent and let them know, listen, I don't personally feel like I'm qualified to give you advice on cold calling because that's something that is not in my toolbox. However, Joe Warner, that is the guy in the training that I recommend you go to because he is a beast and he has done very well for himself strictly off of cold calling for damn near a decade, making seven figures. Now, if somebody came to me for door knocking coaching, even though I have door knocked in the past, that was years ago. There's somebody who was way more qualified than me in Joseph Roberry. So I would say, hey, go to Joseph. Joseph is an amazing door knocker who makes, again, seven figures a year just knocking doors. And for me, that gave me a sense of just peace that I did not have to lie. And that's one of the most beautiful things about our profession is that you do not have to lie. If you're in sales, you could just tell the truth. So I recommend being truthful with not only yourself, but with the people that you're looking to help. Because if you're helping them on a lie, the only person you're really helping is yourself. You're not even doing that. Now, I'm not saying this as like a tear down. I'm saying this because I truly believe that we are in a profession that is amazing. And we have the ability to dictate how much or how little we make. Um, but I just wanted to highlight some of the positive trends that I see, like what I saw with SalesCon and Matt and Taylor and Dean and Sean and all these great people and Will Hinkson coming together and JD Daly coming together and complementing each other. Like, to me, that's true value. We don't have to tear each other down. So what I would do, or I would ask and challenge us all to do is just, I know we're all busy, but take some time when you get a chance and just reflect on your personal attitude towards how you speak to your prospects and your colleagues. And I would encourage you to just commit to treating everyone with respect and empathy. Embrace some sort of diversity in your sales methods, or embrace being tolerant and learning from someone else, right? That may not do it the same as you, but may add a tool to your toolbox. And be truthful about your expertise and your experience. And most importantly, prioritize the client's best interests, even if it means turning down an opportunity or a sale. Not all money is good money if it costs you your integrity or your trust. And I, I just wanted to come on here and put that out there. And yeah, um, I truly believe we have something worth protecting here, in our space and in our industry. And let's let's just do the right thing. All right. Thanks for taking the time out to listen to my TED talk. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best and be blessed.